Hi everyone, for this demo I'm going to be using Pink Ink Designs, A Christmas Carol by the guest designer Natasha. As you can see, this is a well-loved stamp, although I've only had it a little while. I do love all the elements in this. You can create so much with it. One thing I wanted to do, obviously where I make quite a few samples, is I'm left with hundreds of envelopes. But obviously one of those things, when you make a Christmas card, you sometimes forget about the envelope. So I wanted to show you how you can incorporate what you've got on the front of your card onto your envelope. So I'm just going to be using the actual carol singers and the little music notes here, and a nifty trick with a post-it. Okay, so I've got an envelope here, which is an 8x8 envelope. And the post-it notes I've got here, obviously depending on your size, you can obviously just create a mask yourself sort of thing, but this is 5 inches by 3, which if you think you're writing to someone, that's the kind of letter size you're going to want. So I'm going to be placing that somewhere in the middle. Let's make sure that's straight along the top. Yep. Okay, and then we've got our carol singers here, which is going to ink up with some VersaFine ink. And now we're going to go slightly off the envelope because we don't want to give away the whole image of everything that's in the card. And we're just going to put that, actually going to raise it a bit. There we go. So I'll clean that off in a minute. So we've got just our little edging there. And then we've got our little music notes. I'm going to go so off the edge here. And just keep stamping around until you're happy with how it's going to look. And the other thing I like to do is just fill in a couple of extra notes here and there. Obviously you don't have to do this, it's fine. Okay. And then we're just going to get our ruler, just so that we can actually get a straight-ish line on the inside. Flip it over because we don't want the lines to come out. And so I'll line it up against the edge of the post-it note and just draw along the edge. Flip it round. Do the same thing the other side. And the edges as well. Obviously this is quite good for doodling, so you can do all sorts of things with it, but this is just to, if you've made a card with the carol singers or any of the stamps already on it, then you want to be able for it to show off. Okay, and then you could rough up the edges or however you wanted to do this. I quite like adding in some extra lines just to make it a bit more 3D. So it means you haven't got to be too neat with it. There we go. And then if I move that out the way, I'm just going to use some of the VersaCraft inks here. So I've got lemon yellow, poppy red and kiwi, and I'm just going to literally add a couple of accent colours into the stamped image. just to make it pop a bit so it isn't just black and white. So let's start with the little holly on the top of his lantern here. So just take my water brush to it and just give it a little wash of colour, and then the lemon yellow in the lantern, and then the little bits around the outside just to hint at the colour. So, and then the red and the holly berries there, and let's give her a nice red scarf as well. Obviously you don't want to add too much water to the envelope because it's going to hold the card and you don't want it to start warping. It's just to, like I say, give a hint as to what is going to be inside the card, or what's inside the envelope. That's turned out more pink than it has red. I think I might just add it to his waistcoat as well, I think. And that's it, really simple of how to just add a couple of embellishments onto the front of the envelope. I have done a couple more, see, using the other ones. So that was my original one, and I think I used, yeah, I covered that with I actually used the pink ink paints on that one, so you get a bit of glitter, bit of the shimmer on that one. And then that one I used the poinsettias from the Winter Garden stamp set, so from that one. So it was the poinsettia there. And then this last one here is using, again, that's from the Robin Redbreast. So that's that stamp there along the top. Again, I started with the post-it note, put the post-it on the top, but stamped that first, then put the post-it on to give me my edge, and then went round with the let me take that out where you can see it, and then this hanging star here along the bottom, and then I just took my ruler and drew in a couple of lines to match what was already there. So there's loads of, I say, with all the stamps, there's loads of little embellishments. With the Winter Garden one, also used the poinsettia on that one and just coloured in a couple of them. So I kept the post-it note there and then put the extra ones afterwards. But there's, you know, you could use the bells or anything that you've used on the inside of the card, you then, or on the actual card itself, you then put on the envelope. And I think it just adds it, you know, when someone gets that through the post with their stamp and their address in there, I think that adds to it. Hope you have a go. Thanks.